opening this week, brought to you by our good friends at AMC Theaters. And the second film opening this week is the new film, A Walk in the Woods. Ashley, tell us about it.
The second film opening this week is A Walk in the Woods. In this new comedy adventure, celebrated travel writer Bill Bryson, played by Robert Redford, instead of retiring to enjoy his loving, beautiful wife and large, happy family, challenges himself to hike the Appalachian Trail, 2,200 miles of America's most unspoiled, spectacular, and rugged countryside from Georgia to Maine. The peace and tranquility he hopes to find, though, is anything but once he agrees to being accompanied by the only person he can find willing to join him on the trek, his long-lost and former friend Katz, played by Nick Nolte, a down-on-his-luck serial philanderer who, after a lifetime of relying on his charm and wit to keep one step ahead of the law, sees the trip as a way to sneak out of paying some debts and sneak into one last adventure before it's too late. The trouble is, the two have a completely different definition of the word adventure. Now they're about to find out that when you push yourself to the edge, the real fun begins. John, are you looking forward to A Walk in the Woods?
You know what? I remember when I first heard about The Walk in the Woods, like anything with Robert Redford in it, you have to give at least a little bit of attention. Then I heard he was doing it with Nick Nolte, and I kind of heard the premise. I thought, man. And then I saw the trailers for it. I'm going to tell you right up, I love the trailers for it. I never would have thought I'd be this interested in Nick Nolte again in a role like this, although he was great in The Fighter, and he's great in several different things. Warrior.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that would have been a totally different movie. For
Talk
The
about
Fighter.
Christian Bale really transforming himself.
I love the trailers. I instantly thought, this is charming. This is great. I want to watch these guys walk. I want to watch these guys walk and talk because it sounds fascinating to me already. I thought it was kind of cute and clever and funny. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Schnepp, what about you?
Yeah, same here. I mean, when I first heard the premise, I felt like what is this, like Odd Couple, grumpy old man, get a couple of mismatched actors together. But then the more I thought about it, even before I saw the trailer, I was like, they're both great actors and they're going to have some fun doing comedy together. And then the trailer really sells it. It does have my only fear is if it gets too corny, like too jokey, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think if they had a cut that was like that, I bet they pulled back on that and like, hey, add a little more flavor in there. And I think some of the jokes really work. Like we both really laughed out loud with map to scale. Yeah. No, it's to the pull out to reveal map to, is this to scale? Yes. Sometimes visual gags are great. And I think their chemistry is really fun. And there's going to be a moment that's going to get you all teary-eyed. It might be that scene where they're like hanging out on the edge of that cliff and they're really like talking to, what's life really about?
Nick Nolte's going to eat it. Nick Nolte's going to eat it.
Come on. No.
Yeah, I hope not.
Injustice. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too. And for a lot of the same reasons that you guys just said, your pitch on what it sounds like is probably what it's going to be. But because of the trailer and the way that it's set up, and that's the tone, I'm actually excited to see Robert Redford do something a little bit more light and more fun. He's been stranded out on a boat. He's been, he's been doing all this stuff that he does. When you think of Robert Redford now, you think him doing serious stuff. And for the majority of his career, dramas. I want to see him he's done comedy, but I want to see him do comedy. And Nick Nolte, just in general, is just such an engaging character, and he's just funny. We're just doing it. I'm gonna go and you know what he's talking about, but it's like, yeah, do more of it. Yeah. But he is the thing. We were just talking about how I wanted to see a movie with Nick Nolte and Gary Busey. But Gary Busey's kind of been like this crazy character. Nick Nolte can be crazy, but he's a great actor, like you brought up with Warrior. And to have these two great guys, it's refreshing. Mm-hmm. It's refreshing to have those two classic actors going off and having this kind of adventure together. I think it really could be an interesting movie.
I remember my favorite Nick Nolte memory. He was at the Guardians of the Galaxy world premiere, and so Ann and I
thought he was actually going to outer space. That's why
he was going to say, Ann and I are in line to get some popcorn because at these premiere things they'll just have like a concession stand filled with bags of popcorn up on the counter. You just go up and grab them or whatever. And Nick Nolte, it took me a minute to realize Nick Nolte was in front of us. So he had the fedora hat on and stuff like that. And I don't know why I started laughing and I had to turn around. But he, excuse me, and he grabs me, where might I find the butter? And just the way he said butter, I don't know why, but it cracked me up and killed me.